like I was saying, we have a little bit of technical difficulties, but I do think that the Ravens win. I think my final score was 28-21 Ravens, even though I think Cleveland will come out and surprise people. I think the Ravens might struggle a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like you, I'm very excited about this game. I'm very excited to see how Kevin Stefanski uses his tight ends and, honestly, his wide receivers with OBJ and Jarvis Landry. And I feel like this will be a nice little, opening to see if Baker's ready to take that next step because, it's a very challenging game with the division rival. But, yeah, very similar to you, I think this game is going to be a little closer than everyone thinks. But I'm gonna take the over on the 9-point favorite. I think it's gonna be like a 10-point deficit.
Okay.
I could see maybe like a 31-17, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe in the 14 range, like
Yeah.
the 14-point deficit range. I know I said 10 earlier.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, I think this is more of a let's see what Baker what Baker has instead of what the Ravens have,
Yeah.
So next we have the Carolina Panthers take on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are a 2-point favorite, even though this game is in Charlotte, and I believe it is supposed to be raining. Let me check. No, 85 and sunny, so I'm way off on that. I'll make this quick. I actually think this is one of the wins that Carolina gets. I think that they're going to come in here and they're actually going to beat the Raiders. I just think that the Raiders have they're going to be starting 2 rookies in Hunter Renfrow as their wide receivers, and I think that will be challenging for them. And I think Carolina just has more weapons on offense. I think it will be a shootout, and I think Carolina will put out more points. I'm going to go Carolina 35, Raiders 29.
I like that. I do think it's going to be close, but I'm going to go the other way on this. And I always feel bad betting against Carolina with you, man.
Don't feel bad about that at all this season.
I'm just worried about – we've been talking about it all offseason that your secondary, specifically your cornerback room, is a little suspect.
It's garbage.
I see a lot of guys struggling to keep up with Henry Ruggs, struggling to cover Bryan Edwards. And
is Ruggs playing?
I thought he was. Is he not? If he doesn't, that really changes my answer.
Hang on, let me check. I'm pretty sure he's injured, but I could be wrong. I thought he had a hamstring injury, but I might be making that up. I'm making it up. So, yep, I made it up.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of granted, like you said, they are young, but there are a lot of weapons on this offense, not to mention Darren Waller in the passing game.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm worried about him, and I'm worried like I said, I think Carolina's offense is just better than this Raiders offense, and I think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think either defense is going to be able to stop either offense. So I think it's basically whichever team scores last is going to win this one.
Yeah. I'm going to go – if I had to pick a score, I'd probably do maybe like 24-14 Raiders.
That's one
but I do think CMC is going to tear up that defense.
It's one of the reasons I'm so excited to watch Carolina, just a little tangent, is because even though we're going to suck, I know this offense is going to put up a ton of points. So it's just going to be exciting to watch anyway. Speaking of this next game, we can jump right into this. The Colts take on the Jaguars. The Colts are a 7-point favorite. This game is in Jacksonville. Good thing there's no fans because I doubt there would be any in the stands anyway. I have the Colts by about 28.
I actually think Jacksonville just traded their fans to some other team for a bag of chips.
Exactly, to the Dolphins. Like I said, I think the Colts, their offensive line is just so people are saying Jonathan Taylor might not break out till the middle of the year. No, I think it's literally going to happen week 1. I think they're going to be beating the snot out of Jacksonville so bad by halftime that they're just going to give Jonathan Taylor the ball for the entire third and fourth quarter. And then they're going to realize, oh, this kid's really good. Marlon Mack, you're now the backup. Jonathan Taylor, this is now your team. At least that's just my prediction. But what do you think, Ryan?
I think this game gets so out of proportion that we might see Nyheim Hines and Jacob Eason, or Jacoby Brissett. I think not many like actual. I know you do it in Madden, but like, or at least I do. I don't know if they do it in real life, but like, I think they're throwing the backups here. You don't want to hurt any of the starters.
For sure.
This is like a preseason game for them, honestly. This
I
is
mean,
going to be just nasty.
it's going to be bad.
I can honestly obviously the Colts defense is not like anything to rave about, but I just think that like I could see them like holding this Jags team to like under 10 points.
Yeah, because I mean, I think their only running back that might be healthy, because I know Raquel Armstead is on the COVID list, might be Chris Thompson.
Yeah. And like a
And
Zigbo.
Yeah, and Zigbo. So like they're not going to be able to run the ball at all. So it's going to be Gardner, and I guess we're going to see week 1 how good he is. So, all right, we can move on from that one. Next, we got the Patriots taking on the Dolphins. This game is in Miami. Patriots are a 6.5-point favorite, and Fitzmagic is the starter for the Dolphins. I'll let you start because I feel like I did the last two.
This is a weird game for me because, you know, I'm not going to like dismiss the fact that the Dolphins are like one of the most like improved teams in the NFL this year. But I've also learned my lesson on betting against Bill Belichick. So I really don't know where to land on this one. I thought about this. I kind of replayed this in my head as we were preparing for this. I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. It's going to be crazy. I think this is going to be a really tight game. I could see it maybe coming down to a field goal. And if that's the case, great, because the Patriots don't have a kicker right now.
Yeah.
They cut both kickers, and they still haven't signed one. I'm waiting for them to sign Steve Hauschka. I don't know why they haven't done
Adam
that.
Vinatieri's coming back. Adam Vinatieri.
Dude, Adam Vinatieri is like almost my dad's age.
They're bringing him in. I'm telling you, watch. It's going to be Friday night, and they're going to sign Adam Vinatieri for the rest of the season.
I could actually totally see that happening.
Me too.
Adam Vinatieri, he was not good last year.
No, he was really bad. Just a lot of extra points.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you. I think Miami wins this. I think that – I think we're going to learn a lot about this Patriots team, but I think that defense is really bad. With all these people sitting out, people were drafting this defense in fantasy football, and I'm going, what are y'all doing? Did y'all not see the COVID list? Because half this defense is gone. And then we have Cam Newton coming in. They still haven't named a starting running back. They said it's going to be running back by committee. And their number 1 wide receiver is N'Keal Harry. No, Edelman and N'Keal Harry.
All N'Keal Harry can do is run jet sweeps. Like I'm convinced that's all he can do.
Oh, Mohamed Sanu is not on the team anymore, so I also have the Dolphins. I do agree with you. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go Dolphins 17, Patriots 14. I think this one's a really close, low score.
I really like that. I like that a lot.
All right, next up we got the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Chargers are a 3-point favorite, and this game is in Cincinnati.
You got this one.
This one's hard because
it's hard.
I don't believe in Cincinnati's defense at all, but I think their offense can put up points. But the Chargers, I don't really believe in their offense right now. I'm gonna go Chargers. I think Joe Burrow struggles for his first game, especially against this defensive line. I think they're going to be all over him with Melvin Gordon, Bosa. Yeah, they're just going to be all over him. I think it's going to be too much to handle. I think Burrow turns it over 3 times, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, and I'm going to have the Chargers winning 21-7. No, 24-7.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, looking at this game from the outside, I can probably pinpoint this game as the game that's going to be most riding on how the quarterbacks perform, because I really do think if Tyrod outplays Joe Burrow, I think the Chargers win. If Joe Burrow just absolutely comes out and just destroys, I think the Bengals have a good chance of winning this. But I like what you brought up with the defensive line, because I think the Bengals still have one of the worst offensive lines in football going up against one of the best defensive lines. So I think Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram are going to eat, not to mention Linval Joseph up the middle. So it's just going to be bad news for Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow. The bad day for the Joes. I mean, I'm not hating on the Bengals. I really like what they've got going. They've got a nice little offensive core there, but like
Sure.
I think this Chargers defense is way too strong.
They kind of remind me of Carolina. They have a really good offense and a terrible defense.
Yeah.
And not the best offensive line. But also, Zach Taylor, I think he sucks as a head coach. So I'm going to take Anthony Lynn every day of the week over
Yeah.
Zach Taylor. So when it comes down to it, I'm taking the Chargers. Up next, we got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the 49ers. And the 49ers are a 7-point favorite. This game is in San Francisco, which, I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. There's no fans, but I guess they don't have to travel, so that's a good thing. And I'm going to let you start with this one.
I could actually see this being a low-scoring game. Just because Jimmy G, other than Kittle, he's got nobody to throw to. Obviously, we know that 49ers defense is completely locked down, but, you know, I like the Cardinals offense over the 49ers, but I like the 49ers defense over the Cardinals. So it's weird. That's why I think it's going to be a weird little battle. If anything, I'm going to give the 49ers the edge. I think it might be something like – I think this might be a shootout too. Well, it's weird because it's either going to be a shootout or it's going to be like
It's going to be like
two-score game.
It's going to be like 10-3 or it's going to be like 28-24, something like that.
I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm going to say like 24-17.
Okay. And you're 49ers?
Yeah.
See, I'm going to do the exact opposite, and I'm going to go Cardinals.
All right, I respect that. That was a hard one for me. So
here's the thing, is that I just think that people are really sleeping on this Cardinals defense, and they have really good corners. They have good safeties. And now with Isaiah Simmons being back there, who is going to fly all over the field for them, I think if you shut down the running game for the 49ers and you make Jimmy G have to beat you through the air, you have a pretty good chance of beating them. And I just don't think that Richard Sherman has what it takes to go one-on-one with why can't I think of his name? DeAndre Hopkins. And I think Kyler is going to have he's going to have a day. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a day. But I think it's still going to be close. But I'm going to take the Cardinals 24-17 over the 49ers.
I like that.
All right, let's go back. We're going back to the NFC. We're going to go Seattle Seahawks versus the Atlanta Falcons. This game is way closer than I thought it was going to be. This game is in Atlanta, and Seattle is a 1-point favorite. I'm going to let you start.
I think this is a blowout. I think Seattle's offense is going to run over that defense. I think the only thing that might keep Atlanta in it is just how weak the Seahawks offensive line is. But I'm going to say like 28-10 Seahawks.
See, I have this one as one of the potential wins for the Falcons this season because I think that they are just not – well, first of all, Todd Gurley always plays amazing against Seattle. And also I just have a feeling that – I don't know, man. Who on that Seattle team is – they do have Adams now, though. That's the problem. I was going to say, who's going to stop Julio?
You sleep on Shaquille Griffin, man.
I do. I don't – yeah, when it's against Julio, I do. You're right.
That's fair.
I think you're right, though. I think Seattle's probably going to win. I just think it'll be a little bit closer. I'm going to go 21-17 Seattle, giving them the edge a little bit. I don't feel good about that. In fact, I wish I kind of would have picked Atlanta. Yeah, in fact, we're switching that. I'm going to go Atlanta 21, Seattle 17. Just, it's week one. Let me get fancy. Then we have your team. We have the Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Jets. I believe this game is in Buffalo, correct?
Yep.
And you are a 6-point favorite. I'll let you go ahead. This is your team.
If this is not a blowout, I'm packing it in for the season. I honestly,
What?
I'm testing our viewers right now. The first person to like and comment this video, I will Venmo you $5 if the Buffalo Bills do not win by 2 or more touchdowns.
Ryan, just say win.
Nah, 2 or more touchdowns. But that I'm testing our viewers. I'm testing our fans.
I mean, there's going to be someone that listens to this far, I hope.
If not, we got to rethink what we're doing.
That's
but I just think the Bills are better in every category. I can name you. Well, okay, because I'm a UVA fan, I can name you two Jets cornerbacks. Pierre Desir, who they just signed from the Colts,
Not great.
actually a decent cornerback. I mean, he's not great, but he's like right in the middle. But you don't really want a guy that's right in the middle covering Stephon Diggs. That's their best corner going up against our best wide receiver. Not to mention, you've got Bryce Hall or Brian Poole, whoever you decide, is going to cover John Brown. Like this, it's a recipe for disaster for their defense. I think the only thing keeping them in it is their defensive line, who's a really good rush defense. Like they're going to stop Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, but like I think our defense is going to absolutely eat off them. And like and comment this video. If the Bills don't win by 14 points, the first person that does it, you just got $5.
Well, I'm going to keep mine short and sweet because you pretty much summed up exactly how I feel. I think the Bills are winning 28-3. I only think I genuinely don't think they score a touchdown because whoever they throw out there, if it's Denzel Mims, if it's Crowder, I don't think Tre'Davious White will cover Crowder. Does he cover the slot? I don't think he does.
No, that'll be like Teron Johnson or Josh Norman.
Yeah, again, both of them I think can cover Jamison Crowder. Le'Veon Bell, not a threat up against this defensive line. I genuinely think they might get like 90 yards of offense. I'm serious. This is either going to be a Bills blowout or it's going to be like 10-0 Buffalo, and it's going to be a defensive battle, and that's only if Josh Allen comes out and turns the ball over like 6 times, and I don't see that happening. So I'm taking Buffalo. Ryan's taking Buffalo. Let's move on. Now, this one I have a bit of a problem with. We have the Detroit Lions taking on the Bears. This game is in Detroit, and the Lions are a 2-point favorite. Why is there so much disrespect on the Lions?
Just because they were weird last year. They were kind of bad last year, but you got to think like half their team didn't play like half the season. I think the Lions. This is a huge W. I'm not gonna say it as confidently as I am with the Bills, but you know, I really like the Lions here. I start Kenny Golladay. For God's sakes, please don't own a Detroit Lions running back. But you know they're all healthy and they're all gonna run it up. But we just don't know which one. But yeah, I think it's the Lions here. I would have to say probably 21-10.
This might be a hot take, but I think Mitch Trubisky might get benched this game.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I'm serious. I really think if he comes out and he struggles at all in the first half, they might pull him. But no, I'm gonna. I don't think the Lions are gonna put up that many points though. So I'm gonna go 20-7. I don't feel good about that. 20-10. I think the Bears can get at least 10.
Did you just say that you don't think the Lions are going to put up as many points as 21? So you went one below what I said?
Maybe. I didn't realize that I said that, but I guess I did, so that one's on me. But yeah, at least I didn't go above that after I said it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, that's not nearly as bad as me saying I think the Cardinals 49ers is going to be a low scoring game, and then I said I think this could be a
shootout. Yeah, we kept that one going though. You know, we kept it moving.
I appreciate that.
So now we'll move on to we got 5 games left. All right, we're going Green Bay versus Minnesota. This game is in Minnesota. It is supposed to be sunny, and Minnesota is a 3-point favorite. This is one of the toughest games of the week for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Green Bay, and I don't feel good about it. I'm going to go Green Bay 24, Minnesota 20.
I like that. I'm gonna go with the other side though.
Okay.
I also don't feel good about it, but you know, I think the Vikings squeak out a win here, mainly because it's not a primetime game, so we know Kirk Cousins can't mess it up. But I'm gonna say like something like 31-27 Vikings.
Oh, high scoring, okay. This is gonna probably shock Ryan, but we're gonna go Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington football team, and this game is in Washington. It's supposed to be 80 degrees and a chance of thunderstorms. And it's the Eagles are a 6.5-point favorite. I'm going to let Ryan start on this one.
Well, now I'm excited to hear the surprise, but I'm very high on this football team. I think that they've got a lot of good pieces. It's just not – they're a few years out from being really good. But with the new cornerback depth with Darius Slay and Nickel Roby-Coleman and Avonte Maddox, they've got a lot of good corners now where last year they didn't. So, Not to mention they've got a healthy Carson Wentz with some healthy receivers, which is also something they didn't have last year. So I'm going to go Eagles by a healthy margin. I think it might be like something like 28-10.
Okay. I'm taking
I'm ready to be surprised.
I'm taking Washington, and I think they shock the world, and they come out here and they win. See, here's the problem with this. I want to take Washington because I think that they're going to win, but I don't know how many points that they can put up. That's the problem. I'm going to go Washington. Washington 21, Philly 17. And the only reason I'm taking Washington is because Philly is down 2 offensive linemen. And I think that the entire strength of this entire Washington team is that defensive line.
I didn't even think about that.
They can just rotate people in and out, and I don't think they're going to give Carson Wentz a lot of time to throw the football. And I'm just banking on Ron Rivera. I'm taking Washington. I think that this is one of their very few wins that they get this year, and I think they catch the Eagles slipping because I think the Eagles are coming in this game going, we're playing the football team. We don't really need to be that hyped up. And I just think that it's week 1 though. So yeah, I'm sticking with Washington. I think Washington wins it.
Terry McLaurin, over or under 100 yards?
Well, shit. If I picked Washington, then he's going to have at least I'm really high on Antonio Gibson, even though they said that J.D. McKissick is the starter today, which is wild news. I'm going to say under, but I think it's just under. I think he gets like 80. Like I think he has like 7 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
I like that.
Yep.
Those are good fantasy numbers. I have him in fantasy, so
nice.
Fingers crossed.
I have Antonio Gibson, and I'm debating if I should play him or not. Because my other option is Chris Johnson for the Jaguars. So
why are those your only 2 running back options?
They're not. This is for my flex. I have Josh Jacobs and Todd Gurley, but
Do you not have a better receiver?
Ryan, listen, I'll tell you right now who we have. We're going to take a break before we get to my favorite game of the entire weekend. So here's the starting lineup right now. We have Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, Josh Jacobs, Todd Gurley, Mark Andrews, and then here's who we have on our bench or our flex. Right now we have Chris Thompson as our flex. On the bench, Antonio Gibson, Deebo Samuel, Sony Michel, Brian Edwards, Jalen Reagor, or Robbie Anderson. We have
Diggs in there.
Who?
Diggs.
Diggs is already a starter. This league, we start 3 wide receivers. Exactly. See, we have to debate because here's the thing: Jacksonville's going to be behind a lot, so they're going to have to throw to the running back. Now, back to my favorite game of probably the entire weekend, and I cannot wait for this.
Well, before you do that, news just came in. Von Miller is likely done for the season.
That's huge for Denver, man. That sucks for them.
Yeah, that's a big hit, and honestly, it's probably going to affect whether or not they can make playoffs now. Now it's just more weight on Drew Lock's shoulder.
I mean, they do have Chubb, but still, that's a huge loss. Just to lose that leadership. Hopefully, he'll still be on the sidelines at least.
Yeah.
So now we have – oh, yeah. He has injured a tendon in his ankle, and he's expected to need surgery, likely ends his season. Dang, that sucks. Now we have my game of the week, the Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are a 3-point favorite. This game is in New Orleans. And I cannot wait to watch Tom Brady versus Drew Brees go up against each other.
Can we talk about why this isn't the Sunday Night Football game?
because for some reason Dallas
Whose
gets
idea was
Sunday night
that?
football game. Dallas and the Rams is the Sunday night football game. So
I
whoever
could not think
decided
of two teams that would not want to watch more than those two teams.
exactly that I have thoughts about that game, but we'll get there. Now, this game, it's very intriguing to me because I don't know who to pick. What are your
My instincts are telling me. New Orleans.
Me too.
Just because their secondary is very young, which is something you never want to say when you're going up against Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees is going to take advantage of that young secondary. And Michael Thomas is going to eat. They've got Emmanuel Sanders now, and they've still got Jared Cook and Alvin Kamara, who's about to get a fresh new extension. So I think, I got to go. I think this is going to be a close one, though. So I might even go like 28-24 Saints.
Yeah, I have mine super close. I have it 32-28 Saints. And I think one of the big things is that the Buccaneers have so many new pieces that I don't know. I think it's going to take them like 2 or 3 games to get everybody in the rotation how they want them to be. Like, how much of a role is Leonard Fournette going to be? How much of a role is Gronk going to be? Who is Brady's favorite target? Like, I think there's a lot that they need to figure out. And I think the Saints are a more established team, especially with this weird offseason. I think that the Saints are going to benefit from that. So I'm going to take the Saints. I don't know how this isn't the game of the week, but I am so glad that the Bills and the Panthers both play at 1 o'clock so that we can
watch this. Yeah.
This better be the primetime game, because if for some reason Fox decides to put the Cardinals 49ers game on, I'll be very upset.
Hopefully it is. But I just saw a news report that said the Denver Broncos do not know if Bradley Chubb, who tore his ACL last year, will be ready for week 1.
Okay, well, they play on Monday night, so let's get through Sunday real quick. We have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The Cowboys are a 2-point favorite. This game is in the brand-new SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. I think that this is a slaughter, and I think the Cowboys win 35-17.
See, honestly, that's giving the Rams a little – well, no, the Rams always find a way to keep themselves kind of in the game. So I like that actually a lot. I'm going to ride with that 35-17 score too. I think that if you've got Amari Cooper in fantasy, bench him because he's going up against Jalen Ramsey. Maybe pick up CeeDee Lamb this week because that's just going to be the wide open man. I think CeeDee's going to pop off in his rookie opener. Yeah, I think this is going to be an absolute slaughter. I think that 17 that I'm talking about the Rams getting, I think they get their last touchdown in garbage time. I think this is going to be a complete blowout. And, I don't think – they can't flex games till, after week 8. But I really think that, the Saints and Bucks got to get a call up, man. This is ridiculous.
Something, man. All right, and then – because it's week 1, we have 2 Monday night games. So the first one is Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Giants. Pittsburgh is a 5-point favorite. This game is in MetLife, and it's going to be a little bit of a chilly one for at least September? It's going to be 56 degrees and sunny. Well, not sunny, but no rain. I have the Steelers pretty big, honestly. I think 24-14 maybe for the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit under. I'm going to say 21-14 just because I'm really high on the Steelers wide receiver room with Claypool and Juju and Washington and Johnson, not to mention Ebron at tight end. They've just got a lot of weapons, and if Big Ben can even play to half of his skill set, he'll be fine. That being said, I do like where the Giants are heading. They've got a pretty solid roster. I just don't think they get it done this week.
100%. I think that they are moving forward. They're like Carolina. They have a beastie offense, no defense. So
yeah,
I could see a big fantasy week for pretty much any Steeler. And I think not that big for the Giants. Daniel Jones had a huge turnover problem last year, and I think he gets off to a hot start with those this week with that Steelers defense. Moving on to the final game, which doesn't start until 10:20 p.m. on Monday night.
and I will be up watching it.
I know, me too. I love how I said that like I'm going to be asleep. Definitely not. We have the Titans taking on the Broncos, and the Broncos are a 1-point favorite. I would imagine that the line is going to move since the injury news. This game is in Denver, though, and we always know it's hard to breathe in Denver because of the extra high altitude. With that being said, I have the Titans winning, but not by a lot. I think the Titans win like 17-14.
Yeah, I really like that score. I think it's going to be a somewhat low-scoring game, like you just said. And it's so weird to gauge because it's like, I mean, like we just talked about in this episode, the Broncos are likely out their two best outside linebackers. So Derrick Henry's probably going to eat. But at the same time, I can't name you a single Titans cornerback after Adoree Jackson. So I'm inclined to think that, with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and KJ Hamler and Noah Fant, like the Broncos are probably going to eat. So I'm honestly going to take a 21-17 Broncos score.
Okay.
With like a last-second Jerry Jeudy touchdown to win the game. I'm calling that. Remember, on Monday, if it happens.
I'm remembering it. I think Jerry Jeudy does actually eat. I think Cortland Sutton's going to be kind of locked down, but Jerry Judy's going to eat. Also think people are going to sleep on Philip Lindsay this year. I think he's going to end up having a better year than Melvin Gordon if he gets the snaps. I think he'll end up having a better year than Melvin.
There have been reports that Melvin hasn't been as impressive in this camp.
Really?
Yeah, so I could see Philip getting a lot of that workload.
All right. Well, Ryan, I wrote down all of our picks, so I will report back to the people next week to let us know what our records were for this week. I didn't write down the scores. I just wrote down what team would win for each of us. And you got anything else before we wrap this one up?
I do, actually. It's a little shout-out. I'm excited to announce Alex shared with me today. We're at 300 subs. We're very happy that we got this. I mean, we kind of just started this for fun, and you guys have really taken it and ran with it. And we're thankful for everybody who subscribes and everybody who watches. Because, we're just a bunch of goofballs just talking about sports and what we love. So we appreciate you guys. And like I said, $5 to whoever likes and comments on this video if the Bills don't win by 14 points.
Someone
will be, and someone's going to get $5 richer if it doesn't happen. But I'm very confident in my Bills, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. I do think somebody will comment. I do not think you're going to get your $5. But with that being said, guys, football's back. We're back, baby.
2 more sleeps.
Let's enjoy it. 2 more nights, like Ryan just said, and we have a blowout on our hands. But Sunday's coming quick. Hope you are happy with your fantasy teams, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. It's been real.